Hello, everyone. It's Showgirl release week, baby. Thanks for joining me on this live stream. I hope you guys can all hear me. We'll make sure the technical setup is good before I get rolling on this. Got my first friendship bracelet of the Showgirl era right here. Shout out friend Rose, made me this. Got our nails done Showgirl style this weekend. Ryan is not on this live stream because he is getting ready to fly here tomorrow. And she is running around like a crazy person trying to get ready to be gone for a whole week. So I'm going to have all the clowning covered. And don't worry, we'll be together moving forward after today. So I cannot wait to see her. This is like the longest that Ryan and I have gone without seeing each other. Really long time since she moved. So it's going to be great to be together in real life. Where's Amir? I don't know. He might be streaming his own stream tonight. But we are so pumped. I feel like today was an overwhelming, overstimulating day once again, as it's been on Mondays since Taylor announced this album. So much happened while I was working. So thanks for waiting an extra couple of minutes because I needed some time to catch up on everything that has happened. And I'm going to get you guys all caught up in case you don't know what's happened. So, as far as chat goes, I'm going to keep going like through all these things and interacting with you guys. We're also going to make this like a live episode that we can post to our audio platforms. So just know that I'll be like going back and forth from like how I would normally like do my show or like do it live. And at the end, I'm going to make sure to hang on and like answer all of your questions, see what you guys are thinking about all of this. So we're going to kind of do both. Someone said, what does standby mean? Exactly. The top things we've got to talk about. So I'm going to do my open and you guys get to like watch the show happening live. So let's do it. Okay. Standby. ... And thank you all for hopping on here because I know we don't usually live stream on Monday nights. We usually record our episodes on Monday nights, but we figured there's so much going on. We didn't want to wait for you guys, like for me to record this and Alex to edit it and us to post it. We just got to do it, you know? Thank you so much, Dress. Your local theater screwed up. They added times a few days ago. I hope that you got your tickets. I hope you got your tickets. Love from a studio in NYC. See, I want to just talk to chat the whole time. I'll start the episode though, I promise. Oh my gosh. This is such an exciting week. I can't believe it's finally here. Are we going to do friendship bracelets? Maria asked. Yeah, make some friendship bracelets. If you have some supplies while this live stream is going, I feel like this is going to be the perfect backdrop for listening to something while making friendship bracelets. All right. Here we go. Let's do the open. Ready? Welcome to Hits Differently. I'm Molly, and as you all know, it's release week for Taylor Swift's 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl. Big round of applause. Big round of applause. We've made it. We made it here. And this week, Taylor has announced that she's doing something for release week that she hasn't done in years. We have an official schedule to follow for this week. I'm going to break all of that down for you. It has a big Easter egg on there. Of course, we start the week off of release week with Easter eggs. And speaking of Easter eggs, there's more than one going on, okay? There's the release week schedule with the Easter egg. And then there's these Spotify billboards that have started to pop up all around the world. Let me know if you've seen any of them. We're going to dive into that. What clue is there that might unlock the Showgirl era for us? We have a new video that came out on the day that I'm recording this, Monday, September 29th. a new video with 2 versions of Taylor. And I think we've all seen that film before. And finally, Taylor has given us her grand finale. Her grand finale before The Life of a Showgirl is released, which was very exciting. But I also think there's going to be an encore. So we're going to get into that. Thank you all for joining us on this live stream. If you are watching this, if you're watching it on YouTube, give this video a like. And if you are not subscribed to our channel, click that subscribe button right now. We have about 40% of the people who watch our YouTube videos and episodes that are not subscribed to our channel. And if you guys were to subscribe, it could mean so much for our channel, especially going into this release week for The Life of a Showgirl. Our podcast and our YouTube channel really popped around the time Tortured Poets came out because so many of you were looking for content around the album release. And we are excited to do this again because this will be technically the 3rd album. Showgirl will be the 3rd album since we started the podcast. 1989 Taylor's version was the first, but we were like 2 weeks into the podcast then. So it's been almost 2 years and we're getting really close to 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. So it means so much to us if we could cross that mark with this Showgirl era. And shout out to everyone who might be watching on Patreon because Patreon is where we are going to be posting our album reaction first. We're going to hopefully be able to post it on YouTube as well, but there are sometimes issues with that when music is involved. So if you want to guarantee that you can see Ryan and I react authentically for the 42 minutes, that's right, we figured out the track length too. So much has happened since we last recorded. If you want to see our reaction from Thursday night at midnight to TS12, it will 100% be on Patreon for sure. It'll be there first and then hopefully on YouTube. All right, and if you're listening, of course, leave us a rating or review wherever you're listening to this podcast. For anyone who is looking for Ryan, she is going to be on her way across the country tomorrow, Tuesday, September 30th. As I'm recording this on Monday night, she is running around trying to get ready to leave for the next week. And come join me in the Showgirl era. We're leaving Tortured Poets behind. Is anyone else like feeling a little weird about leaving TTPD behind, exiting your Tortured era, entering your Showgirl era? Because I love Tortured Poets so much. This is no slight to it whatsoever, but I am ready for Showgirl. If you can't tell by what I'm wearing with all of my orange, I was shopping for some fun orange glittery things this weekend that we can wear and use when the album comes out. But Ryan is like the Tortured Poets girly, and this is a big week for her too, having to like exit that and move towards the Showgirl stuff. But she's got some cute outfits picked out. We're ready to go. Someone in chat said, I'm stuck in 1989. We've got 1989 and rap behind us. And no one has to leave Tortured Poets behind. Again, we love Tortured Poets. Okay, it's just we are entering a new era and it feels pretty fast. Like Tortured Poets, the amount of songs that we got, the fact that a year and a half later we're like moving on to the next era is kind of crazy. All right. There's so much to get to. All right. I'm going to start with some quick hitter non-Showgirl things. And then we're getting into all the Showgirl things that I mentioned in the beginning. Okay. So if you didn't see the news, Bad Bunny was announced as the Super Bowl halftime show, which finally puts to rest all of the rumors that Taylor was going to be the halftime show. And lately, I feel like Ryan and my clowning has just really been on point because we didn't clown for this. We thought Taylor was not going to perform the halftime show. And now it's official. She's not. Not to say that she wouldn't do it in the future, but just that specifically where people were kind of picking up certain Easter eggs from the New Heights interview and thinking that it was indicating that she was going to perform the Super Bowl this year. We never really got on that train for a variety of reasons. And now we feel vindicated because it is Bad Bunny, which should be really, really awesome. He also was in Happy Gilmore with Travis, the whole Honey scene, and now there's a track on Showgirl called Honey. So the Taylor Swift cinematic universe is small. Okay, there's all these connections, but she is not the one performing the halftime show. And it'll be really exciting to see what Bad Bunny does with that. He's on tour right now, and it should be awesome. There were some rumors that Taylor was offered the halftime show and turned it down. No idea if any of that's true. But I do believe she'll do the Super Bowl someday, of course. Speaking of the Super Bowl, the Chiefs won this weekend against the Ravens, and that was a really, really nice thing to happen after a rough couple of games to start the season. My college team, my college team, lost this weekend. That was kind of rough. So it was really nice to have the Chiefs go out there and just like have a pretty decisive victory. It wasn't even really that stressful watching the game. Travis caught all 5 passes that were thrown to him from Patrick. They were clicking on offense. They got Xavier Worthy back. The Ravens admittedly had a lot of injuries. If you're into all this football talk, again, subscribe to our Patreon because Alex is going to do a video this week where he'll be breaking down exactly what happened in the Ravens game and getting you ready for Monday Night Football. That's right. The weekend that Showgirl comes out, the Chiefs also happen to be on Monday Night Football. And the reason that that's kind of a big deal is because, one, Travis's birthday is on Sunday. So Showgirl comes out Friday. Travis's birthday is Sunday. And then the Chiefs play Monday night, which means Jason is going to be covering the game because he works on Monday Night Football. So there's just a lot going on at the moment, okay? And Alex, again, is going to break it all down for you. Get you ready. They're playing the Jaguars on Monday night. After the Monday night game is when Taylor will be on Jimmy Fallon, which is what I'm about to get to, which is the release week schedule. I'm going to take a breath because I feel like I'm about to run through a wall right now. There's so much going on. How is everyone feeling in chat right now? A lot going on at the moment. Yep. This weekend is crazy. Yep. Where did I get the Rep vinyl? I got this back in the day, you know. I've had it for a bit. Someone said you're doing great, Molly. Thanks. I really do feel like I ran out of breath. It's like trying to get through the open so quickly. Worst, best case of Swifties Zoomies ever. Alex has been amazing with the game day breakdowns. I totally agree. I've said this before, but as someone who's watched football my whole life, I thought that I understood everything, but the way that he explains it makes it click on a different level for me. And, you know, he does sit right next to me on the couch watching these games, so we could just talk through it, but there's something about seeing the visuals and the telestrations that really helps. Did I bet on the Kansas City game? I did not. I do not usually participate in sports gambling outside of, you know, the fun little fantasy football leagues that I'm in. All right. Let's get to the release week schedule. I think if you haven't seen this, you're going to want to. For anyone who's listening, Taylor Nation posted places, everyone. Hashtag TS the Life of a Showgirl comes out this week, and your official schedule is here. Make sure to clock in as we celebrate all week long. And they have this graphic that shows our schedule Friday the 3rd, Saturday the 4th, Sunday the 5th, Monday the 6th. And then we skip ahead to Thursday the 9th, which is interesting. So in case this is one of your first Taylor Swift album rollouts, they've been doing this at least since Midnights. Let me know in the chat if they did this before Midnights. I don't remember it for like Rep or Lover. Folklore and Evermore were both kind of surprise drops, and there wasn't really like the normal promo. So that makes sense. I definitely know that there was I think it was called the Midnight's Manifesto or something, where we got the schedule for the week, and then the same thing happened with Tortured Poets, but there wasn't really that much on the schedule. It was like the fortnight music video comes out because Taylor was in the middle of the Eras tour. So the real thing that was going on then was that she was getting ready to add Tortured Poets to the set list, which was amazing for us. Um, all right. And yeah, someone in chat said Rep was blackout, wasn't it? Yeah, Taylor didn't really do any press during the Reputation era. Lover, she did a ton of press, but I still don't remember there being a schedule like this. So the whole graphic with this schedule is titled with the time card of a showgirl. And I'm sorry, my dog is snoring so loud on the side. Rocky, wake up, buddy. Alex will get him to stop snoring. Sometimes you can hear it through the microphone and we have to edit it out. But yeah, he's snoring so loud, our little pitty. Okay. Someone said, can we see him? It would be hard for me to move the camera in that direction.
I'll figure something out.
Alex said he'll figure something out. He's a cute little black and white pitty. And then we have our black loud Lily, who's somewhere, but she doesn't snore. Okay, back to the time card. This is what happens when it's a live stream instead of an edited episode. I'm so sorry, but hopefully it's entertaining. All right. The time card it's called the time card of a showgirl. And in case you're a youngin' who's never had to use a time card, you know, those of us who've had to clock in for some hourly jobs know that a time card is literally something you have to take and like punch in to record your hours when you're on the job. So they're saying like, oh, the showgirl's got to get to work, like take your places. And the official, sorry, Alex just distracted me slightly, but he was just making this bigger for you guys. So they want us to clock in at these specific times. Okay, there's like hole punches in this graphic telling us when we need to punch in. Obviously, the first time we're clocking in is from midnight Thursday night into Friday, October 3rd, 12 a.m. Eastern time. By the way, in case anyone has forgotten, October 3rd is National Plaid Day, which is why Taylor was wearing all of that plaid last year. It's also National Boyfriend Day. On October 3rd last year, she dropped a bunch of merch called the Greatest in the League collection, and it's all been foreshadowing to this album release date. On 12 a.m., we get TS12, the Life of a Showgirl album release. Stream Life of a Showgirl wherever you can. There's been some people that I think were torn over whether they should listen to the album or wait to go see it in theaters. And I think that Taylor and her team are trying to make it very clear, don't wait to listen to it in theaters. Let that be an experience. If you get to go, if it's showing in your area, if you're able to go, that's an experience not for your first listen, but more of like a release party. So you definitely want to stream the album when it comes out. I realize that might be different time zones for a lot of different people. This is 12 a.m. Eastern time. Let me know in the chat if like what time the album comes out for you based on where you live. And then the other interesting thing that's happening, this kind of takes it again, like back in the day a little bit, to when people used to stand in line for something to become available at midnight. Like in my childhood, this was something that we did for like the Harry Potter books and stuff like that. It's like you went and you got in line so that you could be there and like get the limited stock. I feel like the only times that I do that now in the year of 2025 is for like record store day, because it's limited editions of things that you have to be in person for. Otherwise, most people I feel like usually go and buy something during normal business hours the day that the album comes out. Like if you're someone who's made a tradition out of going to Target, but they're going to be open at midnight, and there's this whole system for how they're going to let people get in line and be organized and buy the vinyls at midnight, because Taylor has released a special edition variant called The crowd is your king. We're going to get into that and the clip that she posted today about it in a second. So if you are near a Target that's doing that, you can definitely go check that out if you want. Ryan and I are not going to be doing that because we want to be listening to the album. So we're not going to be in line at a Target. Let's see. Someone said, "Oh, the Harry Potter release parties were so fun," right? It comes out at 11 p.m. for you. That's nice. You get it like a little earlier in your evening. Midnight in Florida. Awesome. I'm so broke because of Tay. Yep. Yeah, there'd been a lot of vinyls. 10 p.m. for Shells. Awesome. All right. And the next thing after midnight is 3 p.m., the official party of a Showgirl premiere. So that's the next thing to clock in for. And that is, as we talked about in our last episode, 3 p.m. Eastern time appears to be the time that all movie theaters, no matter what time zone you're in, at least in the United States, are starting to show the movie. So if you're in Central Time, it would be 2 p.m. If you're in Pacific Time, it would be 12 p.m. But that's the same across the board in the US, no matter what time zone you're in. 3 p.m. Eastern Time, that's when Ryan, Alex, and I will be going to the theater as well, so that we can report back to you as quickly as possible. Then at 5:40 p.m. Eastern Time, the Graham Norton show airs. And I believe that this will be a pre-taped interview based on everything that I've been reading up about this. I believe it's probably already been taped at this point. 5:40 p.m. is when it will air, though. And if you haven't seen Taylor's appearances on the Graham Norton show, they've historically been hilarious. Like they're really, really fun. So definitely tune in for that. Now, looking at Saturday. On Saturday, there's no specific time to clock in. This is where the sus part begins. It says the official release party of a Showgirl in theaters, like all day. So if you weren't able to go Friday and you're able to go Saturday, get to the theaters. If you want to see it again, get back to the theaters. And then there's this little punch-in time. Looks to be around 6 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, but they didn't officially put a time next to it. And it says stand by. Stand by. Stand by for what? Now, in theater terms, correct me if I'm wrong, but in theater terms, stand by means like you're on call, is how I would interpret that. Like there's not a show that day or you're not scheduled to do something, but you need to be available. So is something going to happen on Saturday, October 4th around 6 p.m.? Are we standing by for something? I saw a lot of people start to immediately speculate that if we're standing by for something on a Saturday, that it would be SNL. And Ryan and I did think that SNL was going to be a possibility for Taylor because their new season starts this weekend, October 4th. However, it's already been announced at this point. And now I'm forgetting, is it Bad Bunny? I think it's Bad Bunny this week. I'm forgetting. I'm like having my mind went blank. Maybe Doja Cat? Yeah. Who's the host though, Alex? Bad Bunny's.
Bad Bunny host.
Yeah, Bad Bunny is the host and Doja Cat is the musical guest. So that's really interesting. Obviously, off of the news that Bad Bunny is doing the Super Bowl, he'll be hosting SNL. And then Doja just had her album drop, which Jack Antonoff helped produce some of that, which is pretty cool. So I don't see Taylor being a part of SNL this Saturday when they already have that stacked of a lineup. Sabrina Carpenter is on SNL the weekend of October 18th. And I kind of have, my eyes out for that one of Taylor to potentially pop up with Sabrina. Maybe they perform Life of a Showgirl together, something like that. That'd be pretty cool. But obviously, Sabrina dropped her own album, so it might just be Sabrina singing her own songs. Sabrina apparently also performs on this Saturday, October 4th, at a big concert. And I saw people starting to speculate that Taylor could pop up at that concert. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. I wonder if Amir would be streaming that actually. I'll have to check that out because he does stream a lot of Sabrina's shows. So definitely subscribe to Amir's channel. If he's streaming that on Saturday night, that could be like the one time you take a break from listening to Showgirl the entire weekend to go stream Sabrina Carpenter. All right, moving on to Sunday the 5th. They are continuing to promote that you can go to the theaters to see Showgirl. In the US, it's in theaters the 3rd through the 5th. It's a limited run. As far as I know, they have not announced any other dates beyond Sunday the 5th. So the Eras Tour movie, for example, was in theaters for several weeks, but this is only supposed to be in theaters Friday through Sunday. 7 p.m. Eastern time. This is important for any of you who can't get to the theater. Maybe it's not showing near you. Maybe it's just not possible. Whatever. The Fate of Ophelia music video that will be premiering in the movie will be available on YouTube on Sunday night. So if you can't make it to the theaters, don't sweat it. You're going to be able to see it on YouTube like you normally would be able to. And then also the lyric videos that will be in the movie will be available on YouTube. 7 p.m. Eastern time is when all of that YouTube content will drop. So I know that it might be a long 48 hours, a little bit more than that from when the movie starts to be available to those of us who can go see the movie to that happening. But at least now you know that it will be available, at least the music video part of it and the lyric video part of it, not like the whole movie. At least you know that those parts will be available on Sunday. And I just love the lyric videos in general. So definitely check that out as you continue to listen to the album. They're usually really, really cool. The 5th is also Travis's birthday, like I said at the beginning of this episode. On to Monday. They don't have anything listed until 11:35 p.m. And again, Travis will be playing Monday Night Football. Jason will be covering it. And then that's on ESPN. That'll end right around this time. And then Taylor's interview will pop up on Fallon. They do also pre-tape Fallon, but it's usually the same day. It's usually the like just a couple hours before it actually airs so that the guests aren't sticking around till midnight to do that. So I don't think that Taylor would necessarily be going to the Chiefs game that day either because it is an away game. They're playing the Jaguars. Now, I've meant to mention this with the Graham Norton show, but let me bring it up here. Taylor hasn't done press like this, again, in years. So this whole time card of a Showgirl thing and like getting the schedule, like I said, she's done it for Midnight's Tortured Poets. Now she's doing it for Showgirl. Midnight's was the last time that she did press like this. And that was fall of 2022, October of 2022, when she went on Jimmy Fallon's show and said, "Can I hint at something 3 years in advance?" Let that sink in. Almost 3 years later from that date, she will be back on Fallon. And there have been so many ties to the Bejeweled music video and the Midnight's era and these Easter eggs that she clearly started planting in the Midnight's era. And now 3 years later, she's going back on that show where she said that. Spiraled us for a long time that she said that. Are we gonna figure out officially on Fallon that she was planning this for 3 years? And to be clear, I don't mean writing the music for the last 3 years, because she already said in the New Heights interview that she was writing the music summer of 2024 while she was on the European leg of the Eras Tour. But the concept she said on the New Heights episode, has been a long time in the making. So my theory, and like many people's theories, have been since we started to find out about Showgirl, that this is something Taylor has had in the works at least since the Midnight's era, if not before that, that she wanted to write an album with this concept of like the showgirl versus what's going on behind the scenes of the showgirl. And she played into this concept again in the clip that she put out today, which I'll get to in a second. But just that parallel that like the real Taylor and Showgirl Taylor are the same person, but this concept of how it affects her life and how she deals with it, something that she's been writing about for a long time in lots of different songs. But now it's all coming full circle in this era, which is crazy. Oh, I cannot wait to see how these interviews go. And she's going to be on a third one just announced today. Late Night with Seth Meyers. That's the final part of this time card of a showgirl. Clock in for 12:35 a.m. Eastern time, technically on Thursday, October 9th, but it's like late Wednesday night, the 8th, into Thursday the 9th. And she is the only guest on the Seth Meyers show. So I'm thinking that's going to be a pretty long interview. The other interesting thing about that is that in the clip, so both Fallon, Graham Norton, and Seth Meyers, they've all posted promotional clips to talk about these interviews. The Graham Norton show is pretty straightforward. Like, they were promoting all the other people that are going to be on there too. That it was kind of funny though, because they all had like normal headshots. He was promoting the other people, and then Taylor, it was like her in a showgirl outfit in one of the vinyl variants, like so not a standard headshot. And then Fallon did this whole bit where he was like, what is it called? Playing roulette or whatever, like Vegas showgirl type style, and he, like hit on the 13, whatever. Then for this Seth Meyers promotion that happened today, he was holding drinking out of a mug that said takeover, like Tay, Tay in all caps, cover. He was wearing the orange cardigan, which I'm like, how'd you get that one in advance, Seth? I want mine right now. I just want to be wearing it all week. And in the clip, another rep track was used. We talked about the rep tracks last week in our episode. That Gorgeous and So It Goes were used. The instrumentals were used in the promotions of things last week. One of those was the cardigan. And now Seth is wearing it and using Ready for It. So many rep ties. There's so much clowning that we have to do. It's going to happen soon. Okay, don't worry. It's coming. All right, so that's the release week schedule. That was a lot. But now you know what you've got to stay tuned for, what you got to clock in for, when to take your place, okay? The next thing to talk about is the Spotify billboards. So Spotify, if you're watching, then you're going to see on the screen here this orange sparkly backdrop with the Eras Tour stage in the middle. And as this Spotify clip plays out, this stage, the Eras Tour stage shape, changes color. It has 5 different colors. So there's like an orange, a purple, I'm going to let it keep changing, a teal-ish, like mint green, a like white or gold, and then a blue. It's like pretty, like almost a 1989 blue, but not quite. So there's 5 different colors, and they put in the caption here a key and the fiery heart emoji. So it's become clear pretty quickly that the fiery heart emoji is the emoji of this era, not actually the orange heart emoji, which I do think is interesting. And so Spotify posted this clip and they made sure to tag multiple different Spotifys. Okay. So tagged in this reel on Instagram is Taylor Swift, Taylor Nation, obviously. Then Spotify Brazil, Spotify Mexico, Spotify Canada, Spotify UK and Ireland, and then Spotify News. Um, and this is interesting because this also started to pop up in billboards all around the world. Okay. So if you're watching this, then you can see these different billboards that have started to pop up. They've appeared in Mexico, Brazil, and the UK at the time that I'm recording this on Monday night. So we think that there will be more that pop up in Canada and the US. And I love the billboard promotion. Like, again, this happened for Midnights, it happened for Tortured Poets. I was hoping that it would happen again, but I wasn't sure if it would because Taylor doesn't like to repeat things. So I didn't know if she'd do the same type of strategy. If you remember with Tortured Poets, there were QR codes that she put up in different cities. And when you scanned those QR codes, it led you to a 321 backend fetch error. The 321 backend fetch error, if you're not familiar, we first saw the Sunday of the Grammys, that day where Taylor ended up announcing the Tortured Poets Department. So at the time that she was promoting Tortured Poets, this all seemed to be playing into each other, right? We had seen it originally the day that she announced the album. We saw it the week that the album was being released. But the other thing that we have to think about with the 321 back and fetch error and all these countdowns that we've been getting for everything so far in the Showgirl era has had a countdown for the most part, is the 321 Midnights when it was released. Again, I think that Taylor had the concept for Showgirl going all the way back to Midnights. When Midnights was released at 3 a.m., we got a surprise drop with additional tracks. And then Tortured Poets at 2 a.m., we found out it was a double album. And so people are starting to clown now that at 1 a.m., because this album is short, right? So it comes out at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The runtime's about 42 minutes. So if you press play right when it comes out, you will be done by 1 o'clock. So at 1 o'clock, could there be something else? Is this the imagery we're getting of these billboards with the Eras Tour stage and the fact that Spotify is calling out that this is a key? Could this all be leading to something unlocking? Are you following me? Does this make sense? Because remember when Taylor Nation said back in August, we can't find the key. Lost it in Vancouver. And again, if you're watching, I'm showing this visual on the screen that Taylor Nation posted with the glittery orange background and a lock. And the center of this lock, which is the keyhole, is the shape of the Eras Tour stage. So what is about to unlock? My personal theory is that this lock and the Eras Tour stage and like this whole key thing could simply just be that we're going behind the door, the Karma door that happened at the end of the Eras Tour, this orange door that would come down on stage at the end of every show that she never went through until the very last night in Vancouver. Then she walked through that door. My theory is that this could all just be playing into that we're like about to unlock the door and go behind the stage, behind the Eras Tour stage into the life of a showgirl. And that like at its core, this is all just the whole point of the album, like playing out in a really fun way. But if you want to clown, you could be clowning that something else is going to happen at 1 a.m. Even though Taylor said this album is 12 tracks. It's just 12 tracks. There's nothing else. There's no deluxe. There's no bonus songs. There's no different, like there's different vinyl variants, but the vinyl variants all have the same music, right? But you could think that something could happen at 1. Let me know in chat what you think. Someone in chat said, speaking of the door, have you noticed all of the exit signs? Yes, we're gonna get to that as well. We are going to get to that as well. Uh, there are a lot of exit signs, and I don't know what it means, but it definitely has to mean something. Or there's just exit signs in the backgrounds of things accidentally, but is anything an accident in Taylor World? I don't know. I hope that you guys are all as excited about this Spotify billboard having the Eras Tour stage, which could potentially be the key to unlock something as I am. Because when this started happening, it was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm not even surprised. It just all makes sense. Alex came to tell me because I was in the middle of work meetings and I was working from home today, and he's like, there are billboards popping up all over and they have the Eras Tour stage on them. And I'm like, yep, this tracks. Like, yep. Alex put up a poll: is anything by accident in the Taylor world? And a majority of viewers saying no right now. Okay. So we've gotten through the key. I'm just going back and checking my notes of all the things I wanted to talk to you guys about. Carla said behind the scenes of the movie coming. Yes, of course. Of course. The behind the scenes of the movie is like the thing that makes the most sense. Absolutely. And again, I don't ever want to set expectations that there should be more, or like the crowd is chanting more. Like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just letting you guys know that this era has been filled with a lot of countdowns, and if you go from midnight to Tortured Poets, you went from a 3 a.m. to a 2 a.m. Could something happen at 1 a.m.? And the reason that I was thinking about all of this is because of the billboards, and the billboards from the TTPD era leading us to something that said 321 back and fetch error. And I don't know that we like ever realized why there was a 321 back and fetch error. Like, it didn't tie into anything with Tortured Poets. So I don't know. But if something happens at 1 a.m., you'll know that I forewarned you for it. Someone said Ryan always wants more. I think that's a false interpretation. Ryan's brain just thinks up like the craziest things ever, but she always like comes back around to like just enjoying being in the moment. She's just like a true ADHD girly that likes to think of all of the possibilities in the moment, which might seem like wanting more. Whereas I also have ADHD, but I try to like ground her in facts. So thank you to everyone who is watching this right now. 500 people watching it. Give this video a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to our channel before. Thank you for starting off your release week with this impromptu live stream. I've been going for almost an hour and we haven't even covered everything yet. So we're going to keep trucking through. Let's see. All right, back to my notes. So I've caught you up on the release week plans, caught you up on these billboards that are popping up, explaining the key lock door situation. We'll see what happens there. Something else to note with the billboards is that I'll be curious to see like if this is how they stay, like if all the billboards are this Eras Tour stage, or if any of them change, or there ends up being anything different. Because with Midnights, we got some lyrics on these billboards, and for Tortured Poets, where we ended up seeing the lyrics, were actually a lot of them were in the Spotify pop-up that happened in LA. This time there's a Spotify pop-up in New York, which I did think it was interesting they didn't put that on the time card for the release of show, or for the time card of a Showgirl. But obviously not everyone can get to that Spotify pop-up. I wish on weeks like this desperately that I lived in one of the major cities in the US, so that if I lived in New York City that I could get to the Spotify pop-up. I have some friends in the city. I'm gonna have to ask them if maybe they'll go and they can report back. But the Spotify pop-up that happened in LA the week of Tortured Poets release had a bunch of Easter eggs in it, and I bet you that Spotify pop-up that's going to be in New York City is gonna have a lot of Easter eggs in it. We'll probably get some of the first lyrics, and there will be things that don't make any sense until they happen. Like the Torture Poets pop-up had a globe, and on the globe there was a pin in Miami. I think it was even maybe a gold pin. And at the time we already knew that the Eras Tour was going to have a show in Miami and whatever, great. Miami's where she wore the gold bodysuit. It just, she plans it all out perfectly. Oh, thank you so much, Dan. Sending love to my favorite podcast because it's actually romantic. So excited for Friday. Oh my gosh. Can't wait for Friday. Oh, all right. So those are my thoughts on the Spotify pop-up that might happen in New York. Or not might happen, it is happening, but what people might see there. And I forget exactly which days that starts, but obviously if there's some interesting stuff there, our schedule for the week, our show schedule is going to be fluid. We were already going to record today because so much happened. We're like, let's just make it a live stream. I'm thinking whether it's, well, tomorrow Ryan will be traveling, so she'll definitely be here and in place for Wednesday. So I'm thinking maybe we should regroup again on Wednesday. Let me know if you guys would join if we do. And we'll see at that point if we're getting lyrics in the Spotify pop-up and stuff. The other cool thing that happened with the Tortured Poets lyrics is that in the listen through of the Tortured Poets album standard edition, before we knew it was a double album, none of those lyrics were in it. So when you finished your listen through, I think that we were all kind of like, oh, those must be from the bonus songs, because we knew that the physical variants were going to have the Bolter and the Black Dog, and we knew that wasn't on streaming yet. But never in a million years did we think we were getting a whole other second album. I mean, that's not true. We were planning for a double album the whole time, but you know what I mean. So it was a crazy Easter egg that she put these lyrics in the pop-up that we didn't even hear in the first listen. And you get through it and you're like, wait, I didn't hear only statues crumple if they're made to wait. I wonder why that is. Boom. Double album. So just be on the lookout, okay? All right. Next things to get into is that Taylor's grand finale that she announced. This a couple of days ago at this point. It was towards the end of last week. She posted on Twitter, Instagram, all the social media platforms, a showgirl knows how to save some of her best tricks for the grand finale. The Life of a Showgirl, The Crowd is Your King edition on Summertime Spritz Pink Shimmer Vinyl. Such a mouthful. Is available to pre-order now exclusively at Target while supplies last. P.S. We're 9 days away. I didn't count the exclamation points here, but I'm going to guess that there's either 9 or 12. 12 for TS12 or 9 because she was 9 days away at this point. So this grand finale was the final vinyl variant that rounds out the entire collection. And it has a new cover with Taylor in an outfit that we'd seen before, and some of the other photos we've seen from the photo shoot. She's wearing the kind of jeweled, I don't even know how to explain it, jeweled showgirl outfit with feathers and a headpiece, and you get a close-up of her with the headpiece on. She's looking beautiful. And then there was a new outfit that we hadn't seen before. And again, I don't even know how to describe this outfit. I'm not good at clothes and these things, if you can't tell. But in this other new photo that we got, she's wearing some sort of a corset, I guess I would call it, bodice type thing. And she's clearly in performance tights. Again, she has a headpiece on. But the really interesting thing here is that she's standing in front of a wall. She's holding the variant in one hand, and her hand is resting on a frame on the wall. And there are multiple frames on the wall that are mostly from the variants that we know of at this point, right? The shiny bug variant. Alex is coming to pop in for something. But the one that her hand is on is the one photo that we haven't seen before. And it's like a close up of her face. Her hair is looking a little windblown. It looks very romantic. It has like soft lighting. It's very different from all the other photos around her that, again, were all from the vinyl covers. It reminds me a lot of the Wildest Dreams music video, if you guys remember that. It also reminds me of a photo from the Reputation era. Um, but it's interesting that her hand is on this photo frame that we hadn't seen before. So again, Taylor is like wearing this corset showgirl-esque outfit with a headpiece, and she's like turned towards this wall which has a bunch of frames with photos from the album variants on it, but her hand is resting on a frame that of a photo that we had not seen before. And they posted, like Taylor posted this, Taylor Nation posted it, and then there ended up being a different version of the photo that showed even more, like it was a wider crop that you had to be looking like at Taylor Nation's Twitter account to see this version of it. So if you were on Instagram or even Taylor's Twitter post, you wouldn't have seen this version. And this wider cropped version of it shows you two more photos that we hadn't seen before. And this is where the exit signs start to come in that we were talking about a little bit. Let's see if I can zoom in here. Not very well. That's okay. You guys can get the picture for those who are watching. Over here on the left, there it looks like Taylor's in the shiny bug outfit, and her hands are like locked and stretched above her, like you would do if you're like doing an arm stretch. Thank you so much, Jade. I appreciate you. Happy Showgirl release week. And there's a double exit sign above her, which is quite curious. We've seen these exit signs popping up in different places behind her in different photos, even in some of the clips that we've been seeing. And now there's intentionally, it seems, a double exit sign. And you didn't even see this photo depending on like which version of the photo you were looking at. Does this make any sense? Like you had to have been looking at the wide cropped version of it to even see this photo with the double exit sign. So what does it mean? I don't know. But Taylor is saying that this is her grand finale and she saves her best tricks for last. And I can't help but think that the finale isn't really the end of the show. There's always an encore, right? What's the encore? Does that tie back to the whole 1 a.m. thing that I was talking about? Or could the encore be a documentary? I don't know, because we're already getting the behind the scenes and things like that. So I don't know, but I think there's going to be an encore. I think we're going to keep playing into this. We've had like the curtain call and like take your seats, and we've been going through the acts, and this is the finale. So I think that there's going to be an encore because the crowd's going to go wild. Come on. Someone said in chat that the frame that Taylor has her hand on could be covering up a vault, which I've seen that theory too. So if you think back to the I Can See You music video, for example, there's kind of a similar type of frame, like a gold frame around the Speak Now, a Speak Now photo that's the album cover, and that is like all part of the vault, and like Taylor is like ends up taking it, like running out of the building with it. So maybe all of these represent, different vault things. Let's count it. I haven't counted it yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total. So that doesn't make sense because there are 6 albums that she didn't own. And then someone else pointed out that the photo that Taylor has her hand on is the poster in the Target edition of the variant that you can buy, which is also true. But this was still like the first time that we had seen it, and I don't think that it's actually on the front or back cover of the album. It's like a poster that's included in it. So anyway, it's just very interesting. Let me know in chat what you guys all think about this. Jess said Taylor did say she hides Easter eggs in a way that's only for the people who care to look for them. Yep. Maybe a musical. Female Rage the Musical, anyone? Yep. Do you think the whole grand finale thing is because this is her last album? I do not. I do not. Taylor would never stop before TS13. Come on. What if she's hiding the vault for rep? I'd be lying if I say it hadn't crossed my mind. That's all I'm going to say. Rep TV releasing at 1 a.m. I can't fully clown for Rep TV. It's not gonna happen. I'm letting this be Showgirl week. And if Rep TV vault tracks, because again, she said she didn't re-record all the Reputation album, but if the vault tracks, which are fire, somehow ended up being a surprise tied into this era, who would complain? Not me. I don't think anything's happening at 1 a.m. Well, okay. You might be right. You might be right. All right. So let's continue on. So playing off of this whole Target vinyl variant, and again, like looking at this photo of Taylor in this outfit, it came back around today because Taylor posted a new clip, and I think we should listen to it. We'll see if this works. Let us know if the audio comes through okay. If not, we'll play it again. Let me give it a little like 5-second tester and see if everyone can hear it. Alex said no, that we could not hear it. So stand by. We'll get the audio going. All right, we're going to give it another test. It's kind of funny that she says we're going to try this again. Okay, we'll keep trying. And if we can't get it, then I'll just explain it to you. Or I could play it from my phone into the microphone. That could work. But I have faith in Alex's, technology skills. Ironically, the reply to Taylor Nation replied to this and said she'll get it eventually, and like Alex will get it eventually too. We'll be good.
All right, we are still rolling. We're gonna try this again. Okay, we're elegant.
All right. Alex is saying that we can hear it now. So
the funny part is she's like, all right, we'll try this again. And I'm like, I feel that, girl.
All right. Here we go. Here's the clip that Taylor shared with us today. The caption was, she's got 4 days to, She's got 4 days left to rehearse for her big moment, ... crying, laughing emoji. Be the first to get your hands on the Life of a Showgirl, The Crowd is Your King edition on Summertime Spritz pink shimmer vinyl. Only at Target, starting 10/3. Select stores open at midnight while supplies last. With this clip. Let me see if I can make this big too. Oh, no. That's not gonna work. It's cool. We'll watch it like this format.
All right, we are still rolling. We're gonna try this again. Okay, we're elegant. We're luxurious. We're in front of the most beautiful pink vinyl we've ever seen. What is going on with the posture? It's giving no girl, not showgirl. What are we doing? Elegance. Charm. Not that.
She's got cat hair all over her.
Is there a school we could very quickly send her to? Come on, honey, this is show business.
The Life of a Showgirl. Exclusive edition, only at Target. And it has a pretty big poster with it, too.
All right, we are...
All right. So, there's a lot in there. Okay. And someone just said, how great is Alex must make it harder for Ryan to find a man as good. Listen, Ryan and I talk about this a lot, she's holding a gold standard to Alex, and we're gonna make sure that she finds her Alex or Travis or whatever. So yes, but Alex is a gem, and I could neither Ryan or I could ever do the show without him. So props to Alex for all that he does behind the scenes. Anyway, back to the clip. So this is interesting because I mean, it's interesting for a lot of different reasons. One, we got a big old version of the vinyl, which looks really pretty. Taylor's got a pink sparkly megaphone. Like, there's just fun things going on. But as I was talking about earlier in the episode, Taylor has written about fame and like the parallels of her life and fame for a really, really long time. And I think that she's had the concept for this album for a long time. And where we really started to see her playing with it was in the Midnight's era in the Antihero music video, where there's clearly like Taylor, what I would call like Taylor, real Taylor, personal life Taylor, and then Taylor Swift TM, like trademarked the brand Taylor Swift, the showgirl Taylor Swift. And in the Antihero music video, when she's like, "It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me." The problem is showgirl Taylor, the like she's out here being all crazy and making the personal version of Taylor feel bad almost. There's multiple different things like that throughout the music video where personal Taylor is like being haunted by all these different ghosts, and then showgirl Taylor's trying to take shots and party and whatever. And it's just a really interesting play on these two different sides of Taylor and how she must feel her life is sometimes. And now, of course, we're getting this album that's supposed to be about Taylor's life behind the scenes of the biggest tour that she ever put on, that she was already insanely famous and successful, but it skyrocketed her into a whole other level that was unprecedented. And now she's carrying this theme, of course, into the showgirl era and playing on it, where we're getting director Taylor directing showgirl Taylor in this clip. Let's watch it again.
All right, we are still rolling. We're going to try this again. Okay? We're elegant. We're luxurious. We're in front of the most beautiful pink vinyl we've ever seen. What is going on with the posture? It's giving no girl, not showgirl. What are we doing? Elegance. Charm. Not that.
She's got cat hair all over her.
Is there a school we could very quickly send her to? Come on, honey, this is show business.
The Life of a Showgirl. Exclusive edition, only at Target. And it has a pretty big poster with it, too.
It's just so perfectly Taylor. Like the fact that at the end it's like, yeah, and there's a pretty big poster with it too. It's just like I feel like she's really being herself in a way while also obviously playing on this showgirl trope. And it's also kind of funny because she's directing showgirl Taylor and acting like she's not hitting her marks, or like, come on, get it together. This is show business. But we all know that the version of showgirl Taylor that we see is sharp. She's always hitting her marks. She's grinning like she's winning. She's hitting her marks. She can do it with a broken heart. You get what I'm saying? So it's fun to see these two Taylors play off of each other. And I wish that I could believe her that she could be how the showgirl Taylor is acting in this clip, as if she doesn't always rise to the occasion. But of course, the version that we see isn't usually the rehearsal or her getting it wrong. Like, we usually see her getting it right or finding ways to get it right. Like all the times on the Eras tour where random little things went wrong and she rolled with it. She is the showgirl. She's also the director. She does everything. Oh my gosh, and I didn't even realize, I'm just realizing this right now. On the right-hand side of this video, it looks like that same backdrop that we were breaking down in our episode last week, that seemed to be a backdrop that was giving the fate of Ophelia a little bit. So that's interesting. That's off to the right. So I feel like they did all of this stuff, like shot a lot of this all at the same time or in the same place. And that's very interesting. I love that she makes fun of the cat hair. I What else? Oh, she's like, "Ugh, I'm gonna need more coffee for this." So there's this version that got posted on Twitter, and then again, a different version. So we were talking about this like with the photo before, that depending on where you looked, the photo looked a little bit different. Well, on Taylor's Instagram story is a slightly different version of the same clip. Let's listen to this.
To get it together.
There's not enough coffee in the
Hang
world.
on, let me restart it. It was muted.
We are still rolling, in fact. I was just waiting for you to get it together.
There's not enough coffee in the world.
Come on, honey, this is show business. And that's gonna have to do. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in. Bye.
The Life of a Showgirl. Exclusive edition, only at Target.
I love Taylor, like Showgirl Taylor throwing the confetti too. It's so
We are
funny.
still rolling, in fact. I was just
Someone
waiting for
asked,
you to
can
get
we
it together.
pause?
There's not enough coffee in the world.
Come on, honey, this is show business.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can pause in this version. Let's see. Yes, here we go. Freeze frame on the vinyl sets. There you go. The other thing that people have pointed out is this backdrop, which there's a different photo. I think it's maybe even the photo that's on the poster promoting the movie release has this same backdrop with like these curtains, these sparkly curtains, and the sparkly like tinsel like scalloping, and they compared that back to the same type of curtains and backdrop in the Bejeweled music video, and they're all different colors if you were to compare them, but they look exactly the same. Now, that could just be because theater curtains like all kind of look the same anyway, but again, it's Taylor. Is anything really an accident? Let me know what you guys think. Is that a fake duck behind Taylor by the pink chair? A fake duck? I won't see that. I'm sure that there are Easter eggs that I've missed in this though. Also Taylor is holding up the poster, which again was the framed photo in the photo that we were breaking down earlier. So, that's the clip we got today. Super fun. Target promotion. I don't think we've gotten Taylor actually participating in a Target promotion like this, like doing a commercial bit in a long time either. I don't remember even the last time. So that was exciting. A couple other things that I want to cover before we circle back to the chat and dive into any other things that I didn't get to is that, let's see, there were signed CDs, excuse me, not signed vinyls, signed CDs last week, and there were 4 different versions of the special edition CDs that you could buy. Let me know if any of you got one. It was like the Hunger Games for these signed editions. It did seem like Taylor signed a lot of copies. There were 4 different kinds. Again, you could buy up to 4 of each if you were lucky enough to even be able to add it to your cart. It kept breaking for us as we were trying to add it to our cart. It was a lot. And then the international stores definitely had a lower stock than the US stores. So I know it was challenging for a lot of fans out there, but hopefully some of you guys who watch or listen to the show were able to get some. Obviously, it's really cool whenever Taylor does this. And again, it seemed like she signed, I forget, someone did the math, something like 3 million copies based on all of the different versions of her store in the different countries and the quantities and how long they were available in different places, which is crazy. And that's also why she started signing the insert instead of the album cover itself like she used to, because that way she can start signing them like as soon as the photo shoots are done and doesn't have to wait for the physical CDs. But that in my prediction video that I made 2 weeks ago, I think at this point, I said I hope we get a sparkly orange cardigan, and then I think we'll get signed CDs as we get like a week out, and that's exactly what's happened. So that was very exciting. And then the exit signs that we've been talking about, I have a quick clip to show a quick photo evidence to show you guys as well. Here is a little graphic showing you some of the exit signs. So, one of them is breaking down the clip that we were just playing with Taylor using the megaphone. There's an exit sign behind her there. Apparently, exit signs have now started to pop up on the site, which I haven't had a chance to look at myself. There's double exit sign in the clip of Taylor directing from a week ago, and then again a double exit sign in one of the framed photos on the wall behind Taylor in the Target edition promo. So there's lots of exit signs, and maybe like 3, 2, 1 exile ends, like we're exiting some, I don't know. We're exiting through the door, the Karma door, to go behind the stage. I don't know. I can't wait to see what it all manifests to. Alex has let me know that we have a small piece of breaking news to react to. Let's see. Let me show this for all of you guys. With the exclusion of the assumed George Michael sample, Taylor Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback are the only writers credited on iTunes. That makes sense. So that means like Sabrina didn't even actually get credited as a writer, which is interesting. And that does confirm people have thought that Father Figure would sample George Michael's Father Figure, and I guess this confirms it. So that's pretty cool. That is all of the notes I think that I had for all of you. Again, thank you for joining the stream. I'm not going to end the stream. I am going to wrap the formal episode part of this that will end up going on audio. So bear with me for a second before I circle back to chat. But if you are listening to this or watching our release plans for this week, our time card for Showgirl are that if enough news has broken between now and Wednesday night, we'll probably do another live stream on Wednesday night. We've been talking about maybe doing a live stream on Thursday for an hour or so before the album would drop. So maybe like 10 to 11 p.m. Eastern time, or like 10:30 to 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. We can't stream when we're listening to the album for copyright reasons. So we'll be recording our reactions though and posting that to Patreon as soon as Alex can get it edited and turned around for you guys. And then we were also talking about doing a live stream Friday night after we see the movie. So the movie we'll see at 3 p.m. Eastern time. The Graham Norton show's at 5:40 p.m. Eastern time. It'd probably be sometime later Friday night that we could do a live stream to react to everything that we see in the movie. So let us know if you even want that amount of live streams. You know, we can pace ourselves. Showgirl's going to give us a lot of content for a long time, but I also know that for a lot of people, like hanging out on a live stream and being able to talk to other Swifties and like hang with us in more real time than like an edited episode can be really fun around these big events where we're all like listening or watching something live. You know what I mean? So let us know, whether it's in the comments on YouTube or reach out to us on socials, if you would be interested in tune in for any of that. And share your release weekend plans with us. We want to know what you guys are all going to be doing, how you're going to be spending your time. If you're going to have cool outfits, maybe you're baking something. Maybe you're just going to like pop on your headphones. You don't have to do anything special, but if you are dressing up or making something, baking something, whatever it might be, and you want to tag us on Instagram or on anywhere on social media, we're at @ItHitsStiffPod across all platforms. Definitely tag us there so that we can see. Again, as I said earlier in this episode, I've ordered a couple of sparkly orange things for us to be able to decorate with. And as a true procrastinator, I did all of this last night. So a lot of things are sold out. So I think a lot of other Swifties were ordering orange feather sparkle things as well. But we cannot wait to celebrate with all of you. And for those of you who are listening, this will be the end of the episode. Please leave a rating or review. It helps us so much. And hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening so that you can stay tuned for all of our content coming up for Showgirl release week. And now to the chat. All right, what's going on over here? I just talked for like an hour straight. Car Family says, I'm going alone to the movie Friday and Saturday with my daughter. Nice. I think we're gonna go twice as well. Jennifer says, I have a mirror ball, earrings, and a New Year's Eve 2020 feather headpiece. Yeah, I was looking for feather headpieces. And a lot of them were sold out. I'm gonna have to go to a local party store here. Let's see. People are saying, yes, please, live streams, love the live streams. Okay, good to know. You know, we never want to oversaturate. But it's a big week. Love the live stream when there's something new. Agree. Let's see. Comfy cozy day, school on Friday, gonna wear orange pajamas. Heck yes. I know I was kind of torn when I was trying to think of what I want to wear on release night, because as I'm sure you guys can probably tell from how I dress on just in general, when I record, I'm a very comfy cozy athleisure person. But the Showgirl era feels like I need to dress up and be sparkly, which would not be my normal vibe. And same with going to the theaters. I'm like, I want to wear something that I'm going to be comfortable in, but I don't know. It's like, where's the happy medium between like a full-blown Eras Tour outfit and your Showgirl, like I'm listening at home outfit, but still feeling like you're in the vibe. And again, no one, you don't need to buy anything extra or wear anything extra if you don't want to. I just want to rise to the occasion, but I was torn. I'm like, do I just wear an orange sweater or do I like go all out and get in a full-on outfit? Really, I just wish I had the cardigan. They would solve all of my problems. But who knows when it'll get delivered. I also wanted to ask if anyone ordered the Target vinyl. People were saying this week that they started to get notifications that their Target vinyl had shipped and that they might get it before Friday, which is crazy. Let me know if that happened to you. Jennifer's going to see Chapel Roan. Oh my gosh, my friend just saw Chapel last week in New York City and sent me a video and it looked so good. Brianna's going on Sunday, Travis's birthday, reserve seats 8 and 7. I think I saw that in one of the comments you left on one of our episodes too. That is perfect. Someone said, don't wear a big headpiece to the movie night. Yeah, no, I wouldn't wear it to the movies. I'm totally with you. I was looking at the headpieces for Ryan and I to either like use in a social video in some way or just, you know, and like just picture us, if you've seen our videos before of us listening or watching things. Alex and I have this big blue sectional. So I'm like, just picture Ryan and I in this big blue sectional with these like ridiculous headpieces on listening to the album for the first time. Like it could be pretty funny. Prince said, I'm going to be revisiting every other era before the movie. I did see people saying that they were going to do that. I think that it was starting last week. They were going to start from debut and listen every single album every day, like a new album all the way up until Showgirl. And I messed that up. I didn't start it when I should have. I have not been able to stop listening to the Baby That's Show Business For You playlist with the Max Martin Shellback songs. That's been my lifeline since it was published like 6 weeks ago. When I'm like, is that how long we've known about Showgirl? Yeah, middle of August. It hasn't really been that long. I have not been able to stop listening to that. Are we getting special merch at the movie? I don't think so. I haven't seen any promotion for like special popcorn buckets or whatever. The Eras Tour movie had the popcorn buckets, had the soda can, big like soda cups, not cans, and then posters too. Tiger Cola, the cardigan better arrive Thursday because I need it for my outfit. That's how I'm feeling, but it's not going to because it has the CD in it. MJ, yes, I ordered from Target. No notification on shipping. Okay, good to know. Yeah, people, please don't wear headpieces that will block people's views. Yes, to reiterate, that was just to wear at home, not to the theaters. 92 ifty. Predicting a residency at the Sphere. Bringing it full circle. Going to Vegas. That would be crazy. I didn't even mention the word tour on any of the things that I was saying, but obviously there are rumors about that too. Connor has tickets for the Friday show at 7:40 p.m. Your first in-person Taylor Swift event. Oh my gosh, going to go out tomorrow and get a TS t-shirt from the mall. I love that for you. I went and got my orange nails done yesterday with one of my friends here, and we went to multiple stores looking for anything orange. And we're not lucky at all. Like there was like nothing. I'm like, I feel like all I see on my social media feeds are a bunch of companies promoting all of these Taylor Swift orange Showgirl things. Even the iPhone is orange, but none of the like department stores and stuff in our mall none of them got the vibe check. So I had to end up ordering some stuff last minute online. But Connor, I'm so pumped for you that it's your first in-person event. It's gonna be so fun. Um, do you think Taylor will release more merch before the release? I don't know. In the past, she has released more like t-shirts and hoodies and crew necks and whatever stuff like that before the album comes out, but not this time. And that's another interesting thing when you think about if we'll know lyrics in advance, because usually the merch has lyrics on it. So for example, for Folklore, I think that there were things that dropped with like for the merch with the lyrics on it, but we just didn't know. Like I have a crew neck that says My Tears Ricochet. But maybe I'd already heard the song at that point. I can't remember. The Folklore vinyl variants definitely were named with lyrics. So one of the one of the vinyl variants was In the Weeds. One of them was Running Like Water. And then it was, I think, the same for Midnight's, like Blood Moon edition. And then Tortured Poets, obviously, like The Bolter, The Black Dog, so which were songs. So the different variants that we've gotten for Showgirl will probably end up being like the first Easter eggs that we got with lyrics, and we'll figure all of that out in just a couple of days. Tam in Melbourne, our cinema in Melbourne show starts playing at 5 a.m. Oh my gosh, they're opening early? That's really cool. Oh, Alex said, fun fact, Father Figure was on George Michael's album Faith, which won Album of the Year at the Grammys in 1989. Wow. I was listening to a podcast where they were talking about George Michael's album Faith, and I'm not very familiar with it, but I guess that it was a huge album that was on the charts for a really long time. And Father Figure was a popular song from it. So they were predicting that Father Figure on Showgirl would sample it, and that was clearly right. Go to the hunting store for orange. So you guys have probably seen both me and Alex at this point wear merch for this soccer team in Portland, Maine. Because Alex is from Maine, and they have this soccer team that has the coolest merch. And last week they dropped orange camo merch for this soccer team. The reason I'm saying all this is because, per usual, I'm at work in the middle of meetings, and Alex is texting me like, this merch, and I just see orange, and I'm like, did Taylor release orange camo? This doesn't line up with Showgirl at all. And then I realized it was the soccer team's orange camo merch. Jen asked, does Taylor typically release signed vinyls? So in the past she has, but it appears, I mean, unless it comes later, it appears that it's CDs this time around. It's almost always, Alex is putting the main hat behind me. It's almost always CDs and then sometimes vinyls, but typically if it's a vinyl, it's assigned insert as well lately, not the actual album cover. Dan, I feel like we're gonna see BTS that clips that show why every song was created. I agree. I cannot wait to see the movie. Okay, a lot of people are familiar with the album Faith. All right, do I need to listen to it before Showgirl comes out?
Yeah.
Shoot. All right, I gotta add it to my list. The Faith cassette was what played in my car constantly when I got my driver's license. Oh, that's so cool, Sarah. Tiffany said, I think Showgirl is going on tour the way American Idiot did with Green Day. She will make a surprise appearance, but not each show, but after a fun run like another Vegas show. Oh. When you say sample, does that mean no lyrics from the original song, just Taylor's lyrics? So usually when someone says sample, well, I guess I feel like it could mean different things. I usually think when someone says something sampled is that at least there's like a part of the melody or the beat that is sampled in the song, and then but a sample could mean lyrics too, for sure. Right. Alex is saying it could mean George Michael's voice. Like they could be actually like taking a piece of the song, not just the production of it, but a lyrical element of him singing, and that could be included, which could be interesting. Shells said that she was raised on George Michael's music. Maybe I know it. Maybe I do. I mean, yeah, maybe I know it. My parents like played all the 80s music, so I feel like if I were to text my dad right now and be like, "Did you play George Michael's Faith?" he'd be like disappointed that I didn't realize it. Big Journey family in my household. Do you think we're getting another countdown this week? Good question. What if a countdown goes up at midnight and it's counting us down to 1 a.m.? I should stop trolling. Nothing needs to happen at 1 a.m. Before you get too far and love the layers in your hair, beautiful. Thank you. I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was a little self-conscious about the haircut. I'd never gotten my hair cut that short, and I was like, why did I do this right before Showgirl? But I've gotten used to it now, and I appreciated everyone's nice compliments about my hair the week that I got it cut too, because it made me feel better. You know, all of a sudden you're like, what did I do? I chopped it all off. TS12 is the last Taylor album in my 20s. I'll be 30 in July. Nice. What a way to end your 20s with Showgirl. Can you pull up the lyrics to Father Figure so we can discuss what we think will be sampled? Sure. I'm assuming that this is not like a song that I need to be worried about showing the lyrics to. Yeah. All right. That's all I wanted. Something special, something sacred in your eyes for. Do you want to join in now? Sure. Alex wants to test out a secondary microphone that Ryan will be using too. So he can. Do you know the song? Yeah. Okay. Do you think Trials will be in a music video? You know, I was clowning for a So High School Music video for so long. I feel like I gave up on that dream. But then when last week when Ryan said, "What if he's Hamlet?" I mean, I'm here for it. Any Taylor Travis content that we get, I'm here for. Don't stop believing, you know it. The 80s weren't terribly explicit, right? That's why I was like, this should be safe. It's not like trying to look into lyrics from popular songs in the 2010s.
Chat, does this sound okay? Ooh, I'm like way louder than you are. Okay, that's all right.
I did not do my own nails. I wouldn't have got them done. I am not good at doing any of those like types of things myself. I don't really get my nails done that often. But Taylor release week is one of the special occasions. Can I move my mic?
Yeah, you can move that mic.
Sometimes.
Just don't be too aggressive with it.
All right. Are we time to dive into the lyrics?
Yeah, but I can't be on camera, but you can dive in.
Oh.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Do it. It's all you.
Okay. So
I'll just be chilling over here.
Which part did you think would
I think it's gonna be the chorus, which is
okay.
which is right here.
Baby, I will be your father figure. Oh baby, put your tiny hand in mine. So is this a love song?
Yeah. This is like a pop.
I will be
if I could play it without
teacher,
us yeah.
Be your daddy, anything you have in mind. All right, this is it.
There's all kinds
the
of like
fact that I haven't heard it.
I love
like,
that
Molly's
just like monotonely reading this, but it's like a very groovy song. Also, there's like a ton of edits of like Travis and Taylor that have been made to this. So I feel like this is also a meme from Taylor.
I don't know how I feel about painting your like a love interest as a father figure, but like you know what I mean?
Okay.
Well. Reading the lyrics in this way is giving that vibe, but I feel like if I were to have listened to it already, which I meant to do when I heard people talking about this, I meant to go listen to it, but I just hadn't had a chance yet.
I've gotten a request.
Let's be real, I've just been listening to Baby That's Show Business for You.
I've got a request to sing the lyrics, and I will decline that request.
Come on, Alex is a good singer.
I'm not.
Alex has sang in a band. He has. Are you gonna leave now?
No, I just didn't want to be wearing that.
He what was I gonna say? Oh, Alex helped with like stage crew and theater and stuff like that. Like he's very musically talented. Melissa said, did you notice her jeans in the Target commercial? Are they unbuttoned? So I think that the jeans she was wearing are like that new style, which I don't even know if it's like new. I feel like it's been around for a year or so. I'm always very behind on the jeans trends. That where they like crisscross and the buttons are no longer like centered and people like overlap the buttons and stuff. It's like it's a new style. I feel like that's what her jeans were.
All right, I'm gonna have Molly listen to this song. She's gonna know it immediately.
Taylor's not gonna say "Be Your Daddy." That's kind of what I'm trying to
put
say.
These headphones on, and you're gonna immediately recognize it. Okay.
Oh, I've heard this.
Also, a very funny visual for those watching Molly bop, and you can't hear it. I apologize, because the copyright demons will come for us. All right, that's good. Yeah, so
Yeah, okay, yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. You may want to listen to that song outside of this chat.
That's why I put headphones on.
Okay, yeah, that song was a vibe. Wow, that's really interesting to think about.
Yeah, so it could just be the music beat. It could the bass of the song could be that beat. You could also hear that lyric come in at like the chorus or a bridge. But it's also just cool that George Michael got the credit anyways.
Yeah.
And how many times has she ever sampled a song like that and
Not
explicitly like gave the credit because she has to, because it's such an obvious use. You know what I mean?
George Michael wrote Last Christmas? That's a George Michael song? Wow. All right, I definitely
All right,
listened
I
to a
think
lot of George
Molly needs to
Michael.
brush up on her George Michael history here. That's what
I
we're
love
learning.
Last Christmas. It's like my favorite Christmas song, but I always listen to the Glee version, so probably why I didn't realize it. Wasn't Porchetto kind of a father figure? Yeah, that's what when we saw the track title "Father Figure," I either thought it could be something still to do with her masters and Scott Borchetta. I also thought it could be about how Taylor has kind of been a father figure now in the music industry to try and pave the way, make changes, whether that was her taking her music off of streaming until artists got paid properly for it. Um, her obviously her masters and like wanting artists to own the rights to their work, like all of those things. And then just her lyrics, her storytelling that a lot of the younger generation now that's coming up in the pop world leaned into because of her, like sharing their diaries with the world essentially. There are all these ways that Taylor could be a father figure, but now that I've heard that and we know that it's sampled, I don't think that any of those theories apply.
I would agree. I know we got a request to see one of our dogs. I'm trying to coerce her.
It's the black lab has awoken from her slumber.
Okay, there she is. Say hi to chat. This is Lily. Oh, she's literally licking them. I'm sorry if that was very loud.
Hi, Lily. I know I haven't cuddled with you yet today. I'm sorry. Sorry. On Mondays, Lily doesn't get enough attention because we are always recording. All the black dog. I know. I never felt more connected to a Taylor song than when she announced the black dog and their little black paw prints. I was like, this is for my dogs. Because Rocky, who you can't see right now, he's mostly black with a little bit of white. Hi, Lily. I love you.
Rocky's in a deep slumber. I am not going to disturb his slumber.
Brian's German Shepherd Rhea usually would come with her, but now that she lives across the country, she will be having a dog sitter. So it'll be a party of 2 for the dogs this weekend, not 3. All of us Taylor Swift lovers are old. No one feel bad. We grew up with her. Yeah, I mean, Taylor spans all ages. Now there are youngins who are like 4 years old that are Taylor fans for different reasons. I've got one of my cousin's kids who I basically just call her my niece. I want to say she's about to turn 12. Yeah. And her name's Clara. And so she started off, as a Taylor Swift fan with like Shake It Off and things like that. And now she's moved into the eliteness of Tortured Poets, and Clara Bow is her favorite song. And I'm like, you are too young to relate to this song, but it is your name. And it's always funny to see like young girls like screaming out the lyrics to like these sad big ballads and stuff like that. A black lab named Joey for 15 years. I miss him. Oh, I'm sorry for your loss, Sarah. Black labs are the best. And also the most, they get into a lot. We were very lucky with Rocky, and our first dog was also a pitty. They both, they have their own little things, but they didn't like get into stuff. Lily, she could sniff out like the tiniest crumb from some random place. Like she gets into everything.
And for those of you that requested to see Rocky, this is the best I can do for you. This is a painting of Rocky. So
yeah,
that's him and his goofy self.
On Twitter, senior Swifties are age 25 and up. I know. My favorite Twitter jokes are, we're losing the ancient texts, and it'll be like something that happened during the folklore era, and it's just like there are so many new fans, which are great. We welcome all new fans too. But there are so many new fans that sometimes don't get like some of the older references. Like this weekend, allegedly, Taylor was at Selena Gomez's and Benny Blanco's wedding, and a photo started to circulate of Taylor in a bridesmaid's dress at a wedding. And I guess a lot of newer fans thought that that was a more recent photo, but that was a very old photo from Taylor at a different friend's wedding many years ago. And so it's things like that that'll circulate again. And if you weren't a fan then you might not realize that it's old. And things like that, I'm like, that makes me feel old, you know?
The ancient texts.
And I always considered, both Ryan and I considered ourselves like not OG Swifties, because we really came into the fandom more in the like full scent in the 1989 era. We were casual Taylor fans before that.
And can I just say, I love the wide array of folks that watch our channel. It could be, you could have been a Swiftie for 30 minutes, for multiple decades. You could be in your 20s, your 60s. You could be a Chiefs fan. You could be not a Chiefs fan. It's just really cool to see all of you come together on these live streams in our comment sections. So shouts to all of you. Because it's just super cool, right? Like, you know, I think it's just shows the wide range of fandom that Taylor can have. And other big artists like her, but specifically Taylor, and what she's cultivated, especially post Eras Tour.
The chat right now is so funny because there's some people talking about George Michael, some people talking about how old they are, and some people talking about dogs. So I feel like we're bouncing around a lot of topics, but I'm loving all of them. Tal Reputation, happy early birthday, a 1989 baby. Alex was also born in 1989. And for anyone who is trying to put a date like I'm an old Swiftie or whatever, nah, we're all young here, okay? It doesn't matter how old you are or what year you were born.
We're just Swifties.
We're all showgirls this week. That's what we are.
Yeah, it's true. Also, I see you, Pat's fan, in the chat. It was a great one. It was nice to feel like it was 2018 again. You know?
Someone in chat saw the Beatles? Wow. Aging is a privilege. That is true. Oh, Dan, old souls with Taylor. Like, she raised us. Yeah, I feel you. I just don't want anyone to feel bad about when they came into the fandom or their current age, you know? Great win last night by those Chiefs, eh? I was so happy. There was like a minute left or so in the first half, and Alex was traveling yesterday, and I texted him. I'm like, you know, after our college team lost on Saturday, I feel like we earned this. Because like he said, the Patriots won yesterday, which is his team, and they won decisively as well. Like they had a big lead. And then right after I said that, I think I forget exactly what happened. I don't think there was a turnover, but I think it was Butker ended up missing the field goal before half, and I was like, I can't jinx it like that. I need to be quiet till the end of the game.
Molly is very superstitious when it comes to sports.
Yep.
Like during one of our favorite college football teams games recently, she would not sit down because they were playing well while she was standing up.
Or were you saying that was recently?
Yes, it was 2 weeks ago.
I did that. I did that during both Chiefs Super Bowls. Like
that is true too. Yeah.
Taylor.
It's like if they do well early and she happens to be standing up and walking around, that's it.
Yeah. Also,
we're done. We're done here.
Also, for anyone who was watching any of my Chiefs recaps last year, you might remember that at some point in the season, I started ordering wings on game day, and I hadn't done that yet this year. It's not really something that we can like do every single week. And so, but this week I was like, you know, I think what might be missing is the wings. And so I picked them up on Sunday, and then like the Chiefs, you know, beat the Ravens. So like, I guess we gotta keep ordering wings on Monday, you know?
Yeah, it'll be fun in the recap this week that I'll do later in the week, because it'll be a lot of defense that we'll show. I haven't really done that yet, and I think that was the shining spot of that game.
Just like Kylie Kelsey, superstitious. I saw the video of Kylie sitting backwards at the stadium because she turned around and the Eagles started playing better, and so she stayed turned around. I'm like, that would be me. Like, literally, I love Kylie so much, and I relate to her in so many levels. Someone's asking if I'm a WVU fan. I am not. I am from West Virginia, not a WVU fan. However, the
Well, I
one
was gonna
the one
say,
part of
it's not like
WVU
you're.
fandom that I inherit
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that Pittsburgh is a team I root hard against. So when WVU beat Pittsburgh in the backyard brawl this year, best believe I was blasting Country Roads after that. Shout out to Allie, who said she's a WVU and Bears fan. Let's go. That was a great day.
Someone's.
You know
I was
what?
gonna say,
you know.
someone's
You
aware of the
know
chant.
what I wanted to say, but I can't say it. Just know that when Sweet Caroline plays, you know what I'm saying when I listen to Sweet Caroline.
I see the WNBA question. Yes, we are Liberty fans, but we also love Caitlin Clark and the Fever. So, and just I love watching that league in general. So, if we had to pick a team, it'd be the Liberty. My favorite player in the league's Sabrina Nescu.
Yeah. I mean, also just that she played at Oregon. Oregon is just like a team that I love to root for in college because of their mascot, Puddles the Duck. This has turned into a sports conversation, which wasn't intentional. We can pivot back to Taylor.
Yeah, we've gone. It's become a sports talk radio show.
Someone asked, did I hear the news about Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban? Yeah, right before I started this, and I was so sad. I really liked them as a couple, and they also have a connection to Taylor. So, they went to the Eras tour together. They were in the VIP tent. Shout out to both Misfit and Allie being from West Virginia. Love it. My family, some of them are still in West Virginia, and they were all hanging out there this weekend. It looked beautiful. The weather looked beautiful. Beautiful fall there. Country Roads was the song at the games in Germany. So yeah, Country Roads, I guess, is played a lot internationally, which I really started to realize in the last year or two. And I just think that's so fascinating. I don't know what made Country Roads get picked up in these international stadiums, but
Also, should I say it?
what?
Country Roads is about.
No. He's trying to bring the drama from the family group chat into the live stream.
I was about to say Country Roads is allegedly about Western Virginia, not to West Virginia, but that is an argument as old as time if you're from that area.
The last sports question that I'll let you answer before we circle back to Taylor is someone asked, what's your opinion on Deflategate?
My opinion on Deflategate? My opinion on Deflategate is that the punishment was pretty severe, albeit I understand why they had to do it for league integrity purposes. For those who may not know, Deflategate was a controversy where the Patriots were essentially caught pretty red-handed that they had deflated footballs because Tom Brady liked it a certain weight when he threw the football.
This is so funny.
I really don't believe that weight difference would have made the difference in their regular season and Super Bowl performances personally. But it's also the second or third time they were caught with improprieties, let's say, in the cheating space. So whenever league integrity rules come up that are an issue, I get it. I mean, there's currently one going on with the NBA right now. We don't need to go down that road because it's pretty complicated. But
I don't know if I've even up to that. Someone said, Dan, cute idea, sports and Taylor with the both of you. What have you both learned from each other? Yeah, I think that's kind of what we're trying to build on Patreon a little bit, is Alex being able to talk football there. And the reason it has to be on Patreon is so he can show the plays, which we wouldn't be able to do here on YouTube. And he breaks it all down for you guys. But if it would be fun for me to pop in for any parts of that, we can definitely do that in the future too. Pretty much the normal weekend with me and Alex is just a constant back and forth of either music or sports. So lately that's been obviously Showgirl stuff. and then NFL, college football, and if you've seen any of Alex's Chiefs videos that he's been doing, he's been talking about some of his music that he likes, which is 9 Inch Nails.
It's been a good month
the
for
new
us in this
Tron
house.
album. Yeah.
And they just wrapped their tour. They hadn't been on tour for a minute. Yeah.
Can a mod share a link? Alex is the mod right now. You want to share a link to Patreon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Country Roads was the first song I learned to sing when I was 3 years old, originally from Virginia. Hey, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah.
Link in the chat's the latest one. We'll have one up by, I think I try to do them on Wednesdays or Thursdays, the breakdowns, because I always want to hear what Travis has to say in New Heights. And I really love that we get like 10 minutes of long form football talk from him, because it also just was really helpful to incorporate it into the recaps.
Tessa said, Molly, which song do you think is going to be your favorite from Life of a Showgirl? For me, probably Ruin the Friendship. Interesting choice. I am guessing Opalite to be my favorite because Travis said that one was a banger. And yeah, I have good feelings about track 2. Cruel Summer was a track 2. Maroon. What was track 2 on TTPD? Oh, the Torture Poets Department. Yeah. Endgame. Cardigan. Track 2s are usually good. So, or no, track 2 is Elizabeth Taylor. What am I saying? Is Opalite track 3? Let's see.
Opalite's number 2.
No, Opalite.
Oh, so I'm sorry. There's mislisting it for me too. Yeah.
Okay, so I was giving all the wrong examples. Track 3s are also
it's like off
strong,
the dome,
like Anti-Hero. And oh my gosh, was My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys track 3 on Torture Poets? Yeah.
We have a real-time sub to the Patreon. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you. Appreciate you subbing over there.
Let us know in chat what your predictions are for your own favorite song. Ryan and I meant to do a whole episode just giving our predictions for all the other tracks, but we kind of ended up giving a lot of our predictions in our Q&A episode that we did a couple of weeks ago at this point. So we ended up talking about the songs a lot there, and then there's just been so much more news since that we never got a chance to like circle back and give all of our predictions about each song. Shell said I did something bad, I'm assuming as your example for a track 3. Yeah, that's a great example.
Thanks for joining, Car Family.
Thank you. Well, I think Car Family...
Yeah, they became a member of YouTube.
Nice. Yeah. I was going to say, like, I know that you're definitely in our premieres and chats too. So thank you so much. Eldest daughter, Wood. There are so many theories about Wood. Can't wait to figure out what's going on with Pinocchio, man. There has to be something. Another sports question I have to answer. I'm sorry. For anyone who's not a sports fan, are you guys following the new tennis generation? I'm a Federer fan forever. So am I. Now I love Yannick, less of an Alcaraz fan. Oh, interesting. I'm the reverse. So I think that it's interesting because Yannick kind of embodies Federer more, and Alcaraz embodies Rafa, obviously. And growing up, I was all Fed.
Thank you, D.
Thank you, D. As an adult, I grew to love Rafa a lot too. I think once I realized that he and Federer were really good friends, and why am I mad at because Rafa beat Federer? You know what I mean? Anyway, all that to say, I love Alcaraz now, and so it's kind of funny that like he's the one I'm rooting for. When growing up, I rooted like more for Federer, and Sinner is the one who's more like Federer.
Although I
like both of them. Like they're both great players.
Were they all 4 Grand Slam finals this year? There were 3. I know they were French Open on. I can't remember the Australian Open. Either way, when they play top level matches, crazy. I'm so glad that the sport of tennis has superstars at the top that are competing like that again. Not to say that parody's bad, but you know, they both have elevated themselves way above the field at this point in the men's side.
Either way, it's really cool to get like a new rivalry going. Canceled and is a top track claiming Actually Romantic, Ruin the Friendship, Fate of Ophelia. Yeah, the Fate of Ophelia. I hope the Fate of Ophelia becomes such a big song that the general public all has to be like, the Fate of Ophelia. You know, like, what is that? Cancel. Yeah, canceled's going to be really interesting. Dancing with the Stars fan, been loving seeing Jan every week. I haven't watched the full episodes, but I've seen Jan's dances, and I agree, it's been really fun. It'll be interesting to see what color they wear because they've kind of worn Showgirl colors the first 2 episodes. So is it tonight? No, I think Dancing with the Stars is maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. Opalite or wood? Well, I think that this has been a successful live stream evening to kick off the Life of a Showgirl release. Thank you all for joining us on this impromptu 2-hour Monday night live stream. I told Alex before we started, I'm like, I think I can definitely talk for like 30 to 40 minutes straight on like stuff that's happened. And then I ended up going.
Whenever she prepares a rundown for our show, she'd be like, I don't know, this will be like 20 or 30 minutes. I'm like, all right, so just double it every time what she says, which is great. Like, you know, there's so much to talk about. There's just so much to talk about. Spoiled for choice.
Yes. The it's popped up. I'm gonna share with you guys.
I know, I
That's
did
the
see
final,
it.
the final thing
I
before
got you.
before we go. That you know we're all gonna be on standby this week. This is gonna be a live look at all of our faces. Like, what does standby mean? What's gonna happen this week? Oh man. Gotta get through 3 more work days, and then we got the Showgirl release on Thursday night. Ryan will be here tomorrow. Like I said, we might fire up another live stream again Wednesday night. We'll keep you guys posted. But thank you so much for joining. Thanks for everyone who subscribed or became a member during this stream. We appreciate you so much. For anyone who hopped over to Patreon, again, you will see our album reaction there first, and potentially only there, depending on how YouTube wants to potentially handle when we try to upload that. And then if you join our Patreon, you will see Alex's Chiefs breakdown videos. Any tease talk about this week?
Saying earlier, I think the defense was the reason they won the game, and there's a lot of reasons why the Ravens there's the reason the Ravens defense didn't look the same. They had a lot of injuries, so I think it's good to focus on the Chiefs defense and what they did against Lamar Jackson, and eventually got him out of the game. He had a hamstring injury. I'm not sure if he could have re-entered, but either way, we'll be talking a lot of defense. We haven't really done that yet, and I think this is a good illustration of how this Chiefs team can get back on the right track and become a Super Bowl contender again.
Thanks, Brianna, for sending a membership. So nice of you. Ravens defense. Well, they were also injured.
So injured. It's too bad.
It was hard to tell if the Chiefs just played like insanely better. Or
Well,
if the
you'll
Ravens
have
were
to
really
watch the
injured.
recap because I will weigh in on that.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Are we going to roll them out? All right. If you've joined our live streams before, then you know how we end these. And it's only mildly embarrassing for Ryan and I for this to continue resurfacing, but mostly fun. So enjoy this on your Monday night or Tuesday morning, wherever you're watching this in your time zone. Enjoy this little piece from we left the key in Vancouver night 3, and that's where this clip is from. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys again soon.
Bye, y'all.